So welcome to Pachyderm Path. This is the location for missions, and I absolutely love this one because it has one of my favorite animals in the entire world, pachyderms, elephants. So kids are going to get not only to see elephants, but they'll probably also use a new vocabulary word during VBS, so that's fun, of course. So elephants are located only in a few places in the world in the wild, so you get to choose what your location will be. We've chosen an African setting, so you get this great sweeping savanna with tall grasses that have a sandy, yellowy kind of color. You get to have a beautiful African sun and trees that are silhouetted. We went with a sunset look here that's very easy to do just by blending from red to orange to yellow as the sun actually is setting, but you'll see the color getting lighter as it moves up across the backdrop. This great sun we've made out of 2-inch foam. Now this is a 4 by 8 foot panel. You can find them at your hardware store. And what we have used to carve it is this little beauty right here. This is a crafter's hot knife. It's one of the cheaper ones. So you can look on Amazon and find one for about, 30, 35 bucks probably. And this is a great tool to have in your arsenal, especially when we're doing a theme like in the wild and there are lots of natural elements. So the way we did the sun is we actually wanted it to be taller than 4 feet, but not quite 8 feet. So we turned our panels on the side and then pieced together some other pieces so that we had one that was wider than 8 feet and about 7 feet tall. So we have actually put these pieces together, taped them together on the back, and used my favorite, construction adhesive. Now this is a heavy duty construction adhesive and it will hold just about anything. So you can also use this not just to stick them together, but use it a little bit like caulk. So after we put the pieces together, we filled in those edges with this, let it dry for a good 24 or 36 hours, and then you can start doing shaping with your hot knife. Now you'll notice these great striations that are running through the sun, and the way we've cut those is by just dragging it this way across the foam. So if I were to do it on this scrap, I would hold it not coming at it like this, but actually laying this side and dragging it across. Now once this gets hot, this melts away the foam really, really easily. So you'll see in the sun how we've had these nice wiggly striations as we've dragged this hot knife all the way through. Come back in and paint it. Keep adding in reds and oranges and yellows. There's even some black and a little bit of purple in this. There's even some pink. So you can mix them all together until you get the color of sun that you really want. Now I wanted to show you one other paint technique. I'm going to move this out of the way because you're going to want to mix up some sandy color like these grasses. I've used a bright yellow. It's actually the same yellow that I used for the giraffes that you'll see in the Bible study set. And I've mixed in a little bit of a taupe, it's a grayish, I think is what they call it. A little bit of gray, a little bit of brown mixed together to get kind of a tan color. So here's what it looks like. I've just mixed up some grass color, African grasses. And let's just pretend that this sheet has already been cut into the shape of my grass. I'm going to very quickly add a few little peaks here, because the trick to blending is you're going to want to work quickly. You need to work while the paint is wet. So this, we'll pretend again, is cut out. We actually used a 1/2 inch foam so that you get a little more flexibility. It's not so thick. We put it on a base, and you can see on the grasses we have done one in the back and a shorter one in the front so that we have a little bit of dimension built in. And I'm going to come back over where I've painted already because I want wet paint again. So are you seeing the grass shape taking shape? So again, we would cut this out. This one I probably would cut with a jigsaw and not with a hot knife so that I have a nice clean edge. So here we go. This is pretty well painted here. We've got our grass shape, and then I'm going to come back in with a darker color. You can use a dark brown, you can use an eggplant, that's very nice too. And I'm going to dip a little bit just right on the tip here, and I'm going to start putting along the dark edge. So I've decided that in this particular scene, the sun is coming from this way, so the shadow should be on the back side of where the light source is. And I'm just going to put a little bit in. See, it's dark at the very beginning, but as I blend back and forth and move up and down, that's going to actually mix those colors together in a very natural way. So you shouldn't have any hard lines like that. You want to keep going back over until you get a nice blend. If it's too dark, mix in some of that light again and keep going back over it until you're happy with what it looks like. This is a great way also to come back in and get a few little wispy pieces of grass cut in there. So again, the faster you work, the wetter your paint is, the easier it will be to blend. Now that's different from a dry brush technique that we've used in other areas, but you see how this takes shape. Again, this is something that anybody can do. You don't have to be a professional artist in order to get this kind of technique. It really helps to set your decorations apart, give it a little bit of a professional edge, a more finished look, and it's very easy to bring Pachyderm Path to life in your VBS. I think your missions teachers are going to love decorating with these great animals. Of course, you have to have elephants. We have an inflatable elephant that you'll be able to purchase, and we also have some that we'll give you the art to recreate on the Decorating Made Easy DVD-ROM. Make sure you're checking out that disc. It gives you lots of helpful clip art, theme art, and reproducible art that will help bring Pachyderm Path to life in your VBS.